Good morning and happy Friday. It's Friday. I'm stoked. I'm stoked because it's a long weekend here in Canada. And although I do have one really small 2 hour shift on the holiday Monday, it's not a big deal. I look a hot mess because I just woke up 40 minutes ago and I'm not the person who's going to get herself ready to make videos. So you get me as I am. Some days I'll look good and some days I'm going to be a hot mess. But I caught up to Love Island. Okay, so let's get started. I haven't seen Thursday's episode because, again, I can't watch it live. I have to wait till they upload the live airing of the episode. So I'm always a little bit behind. I apologize, but that's always sometimes a good thing because I know when people do get up on the internet, there's been a few moments even for me where I've had to like quickly scroll past something or just not look at all because it's an update of what has happened currently and I haven't gotten there yet. So last night when I got home from work, of course, I streamed Love Island, and this was the episode where the girls come back from Casa Amor, and they had the choice to go back um, and stay in the couple they were with when they left the villa or return single. And then the guys that stayed at the villa, they had the choice to either stay in the couple that they were in, and if they were single, they had the choice to stay single, or they could pick one of the new girls. So let's go through. Okay. I'm going to start with Josh and Shannon because I knew those two were going to stay true to each other. Like, I know they kissed a bunch of other people, but that's the game. Like, the game is for them to like play these games and do these sometimes very intimate dares, but like they have been open to each other about wanting to get to know everybody fairly. And I think they've done a really good job of one, communicating that to each other, but also like playing the game and not just being Will and Kira, which is cute because, like, yes, I know they're seemingly so committed to each other, and Kira is so, like, I don't want to say in love because these people haven't even known each other for 4 weeks, but she is growing extremely fond of him. She obviously likes him. But last night I rolled my eyes because my roommate and I have noticed, and I'm sorry, I'm going to shatter the glass for some people on this if you haven't noticed this, but every single Islander, and if an Islander watches this, I hope you realize you guys have all done this and you change this moving forward. You guys say like way too much. Like, super. What was the other word we picked up? There's like 4 words you guys say abundantly, and like is the main one. So when Kira was explaining to, I think it was Shannon, about her feelings with Will and how being away from him has just solidified her feelings and intensified her feelings. But instead of saying that specifically or using another choice of words, she said, I just, like him. I just really like him. That's not, anyways, that's my grammatical brain just like twitching out. Anyways, okay, so moving on. So Shannon came back to the village single. Josh chose to stay in his couple with her. So yay, 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 Josh and Shannon. They have had some trust issues, as I mentioned in my other video about Love Island, but I really do think there's a genuine connection between the two of them because from day one that they entered this villa, these two like linked. And I really sometimes get annoyed by their relationship because it's this constant, at least the way it's being aired to us viewers, like this constant rhetoric of Shannon not being trusting of Josh. But I hope that that's not actually the case and that's just the way that they're kind of portraying it to us on TV because it makes for better watching. Anyways, Will and Kira. Okay, they left them to the end, which I thought they would have left Cachet to be the very last returner, but they made it be Kira. And I initially, like, when the new girls came in, they were gorgeous, of course, but I really didn't think Will would consider straying from Kira. They've been so cliquey and just about each other. They don't spend a ton of time with the rest of the group. They're usually off in another part of the villa together making up. Like legitimately, I don't know if these two ever have conversations because they don't tend to show the too many conversations between the two of them. Usually all we see is them embraced in each other making out. So I hope they are having meaningful conversations the way these are supposed to happen. So but I actually was convinced there in the final couple minutes of the last episode aired on Wednesday night that he was going to pick Flo. And to be honest, I didn't want Kira to get hurt, but I did want him to pick Flo. I just kind of thought they were a little bit better matched with the short time they had together and the conversations that we saw. So I was shocked, to be honest. But at the same time, like, it was cute. He stayed with his, what does he call her? His floquita? His little floquita? I think that's what he calls her. So, and it was really cute when they did embrace. You could tell she was just so, so relieved and so happy that he chose to stay, and that they'll continue into the rest of the episode, the rest of the season. Now, I don't think, if memory serves me right, that they introduce anyone else now. I could be wrong. There could be one more upheaval of new introductees that could shake up the game, but I don't think that that's the case. I think now we're going to narrow it down to the final couples and, make our way to the end of the show here in a week or two. I think it goes for a whole month. I think we're almost done. Oh! I'm sorry. I love this show. Okay. So we've done Shannon and Josh and Will and Kira. Cinco and Trina. Okay, so I'm not shocked Cinco stayed with Trina. It could be a tactic to try and get back to Cash, and I think that's why he didn't pick a new girl. I really was rooting for Cash and Cinco initially. And like I said in my last video, I'm not so much anymore unless he changes his tune a little bit. I think all the girls deserve a guy that, of course, chooses them above anybody else. But like, Cash totally deserves to be with a guy who is like her 100%. I see nobody else. And so I'm glad that Cinco chose Trina. He wasn't able to choose Cash as a recoupling. His option was to stay with Trina or pick a new girl. So regardless of whatever Cash picked in terms of returning to the villa single, because she was single when she left. Well, she was paired with Corey, but they weren't a love match. They were just paired as friends because of how some other voting happened when they took some islanders out of the villa. So, okay. So, Corey and Cache were paired together. I really liked Corey and Florida. I said that in the last episode. Like I'm a series. I'm just getting ahead of myself here. I said that in the last video, and I did listen to a podcast and I think I said that in that video where Florida actually says like she was way more into Corey, and that's not how it was kind of portrayed on the show, but she's waiting for him. And I really do hope they link up after this. I really hope he takes her and links up with her, meets her in South Florida, and then they punt off to Egypt like they were planning. So but he chose Leslie. Leslie is one of the new girls that was brought into the villa when they sent the OG girls to Casa Amor. And Leslie's gorgeous. She really is. She's got this lavender purple hair and these stark blue eyes, and she's just she seems like a really cool chick. So I kind of want to see Cinco end up with Leslie. That might shock some of you guys, but I don't know. I think she brings out a fun side in Cinco, and we'll see, right? I think Corey likes her, but I don't think he's as into her as he was with Florida. But he's got to play the game, right? And he's in there until he is not. So um, he's got to make a connection. I was hoping he would have picked Isabel. Isabel was one of the new girls brought in as well, and she was all about Corey, and the poor girl was so sad when he chose Leslie. It was kind of heartbreaking. She really tried not to cry on television, but she couldn't hold it back. And like, I get it because I'm sure, well, I don't because I can't even imagine the rush of emotions when you're in that moment, right? So, and I find as I get older, I cry about everything now. So, ugh, I probably would have been an ugly crier on that show because I'm not a cute crier. Okay, so we've done Will and Kira and Shannon and Josh and Corey and now Leslie and Cinco and Trina. Um, is it just, oh, Jeremy? I want to save Cachet to the end. Jeremy. Jeremy should have been voted off on the last episode. They should have let go of the couples and allowed the singles to stay on the show, like my man Giovanni, to have the opportunity to have found connections because they were happy. At the point, Jeremy was linked with Florida and Amy with Wes, which Amy is drop dead gorgeous. Like, where is this girl made? Because whew, she is gorgeous. But anyways, Amy and Wes were doing pretty good. They were a new link up. So was Florida and Jeremy, but the couples and had said like the couples are good if we were to go home, let the single people stay. And that's not how the voting happened. So, anyways, I think I talked about that in the last video. Okay. So Jeremy was single. He had the option to choose to stay single or recouple, or I shouldn't say recouple because he wasn't in a couple, or couple with one of the new girls. And not surprising, he chose Jenny Jugs. Sorry, Genevieve. But we've been calling you Jenny Jugs because, girl, your boobs are so big, I can't look at anything else. I can't. I can't. They are huge. It is unbelievable how big your boobs are and that they're that natural. But, anyways, Jenny Jugs, congratulations. You're now a part of the villa. And I hope you and Jeremy make a genuine connection. You do seem like a really lovely girl and really down to earth. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. So on to my girl, Cachet. Okay. She walked away from the villa as a couple with Corey, but like it was a friend couple. It wasn't a love interest couple. And so, and they were cute. And honestly, America voted them as their favorite couple. But just because like we so support those individuals, they just seem so genuine and authentic. So, okay. So Cachet had the option to return to the villa single or come back with a new man. And her connection at the villa, not at the villa, sorry, at Casa Amor was Charlie. And when he walked into that villa, he said, I want Cash. That was the girl he was looking at. Like he mentioned some of the other girls being good looking and having, cool personalities, but he was focused on Cash. And I was like, yes, girl, get that man. Get that man. Well, she brought that man back and she better keep him. That's my opinion. I really just want to see her move on from Cinco. Now, that being said, if there is a genuine connection between her and Cinco, then I do want to see that play out because I just believe that people should be with the people their heart truly desires. But sometimes those people aren't good for us, right? So right now, with how things have been played out, and don't get me wrong, I like Cinco. I think he's a fabulous guy. He'd probably be super cool to hang out with. He'd probably be an amazing friend because he looks like a giant teddy bear. And he seems super, super down to earth. But he just seems so confused. And I think he's confused because he's stuck on his type. And I find that a lot of the individuals in this season are stuck on a type as opposed to having an open mind and getting to know everybody there. And Cinco has said Trina is his type, but I think he needs to get away from his type. Okay. So that's my take on Casa Amor and the recoupling. Oh my God. I almost forgot about my girl Olivia. Holy shit, girl. So proud of her. That girl came back single. She did not she did not couple with anybody. She was not in a couple when she walked away from the villa and went to Casa Amor. And she was kind of making a connection with Cam at Casa Amor, but obviously that connection wasn't strong enough. And I think sure, she could have taken him back. Absolutely. There was no harm in bringing him back to the villa and getting to know him. But she knows what she wants, and he wasn't what she wanted. And I'm so proud of her for just walking in there like a badass single bitch, like, my man ain't here. She knows what she wants, and she's going for it. Now, in the preview to the next episode that would have been aired last night, it showed a clip of her expressing some interest in Corey, which shocks me. But, hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's all the Islanders. I have not missed anybody. And, yeah, this was a longer video than intended, but I hope you enjoyed my take away. Okay, happy Friday.